Hello guys, my name is PvP, and in this video I want to show you the capabilities and how you use the in 4.1 introduced command cnbt setraw. So as you can already see, this command is pretty complex, but we start off with something easy. Basically ignore all this optional stuff here with path key, index, and so on. So we're first of all only looking at type, colon, key, and value as the information in the command already suggests. This command is extremely powerful and can basically destroy also your mob files if you use it wrong. So yeah, let's just go ahead and create one example mob just to test around with it. And to help me show stuff, I also have NBT Explorer again. So let's switch scenes here. There we go. So I can drag this over here. So there we go. So as you can see, it's just a normal zombie with all his tags and so on. So there is nothing too special there yet. So what exactly can we do here? First of all, as you can already see here in the NBT Explorer, you can only set specific data types, I would say. So let's just produce some error message here. As far as the types go, if you can only set bytes, the shortcut for this one is B, short S, I for int, L for long, F for float, D for double, BA for byte array, IA for int array, STR for string, basically a bird, like zombie here, TL for tag list, T, just a T for tag component, and item is, well, then it takes as value your item in hand. Basically, an item is also represented by a tag component, so yeah. This is only a special case used for convenience. If you want to set an item stack, you don't have to write all the little bits and pieces yourselves. You can just copy over the item in your hand into the NBT tag. So first of all, let's add some, just gonna show you a few examples of stuff you can add onto the mobs NBT tag. So let's just say we want to add a string. And as you can already see here, this is kind of a key value pair. So you, by default, if you don't have any path specification, which is the complex stuff over here with path key, like T or TL path key or index, if you don't have that, you're always operating in the well, default level kind of the entity's NBT tag, in the where like absorption amount, air, and so on is defined. And those are always defined with a key, for example here dimension and a value 0, or an ID and its value is zombie. So let's say we want to add a string, basically a word kind of, at test k, and we want to name it some string value. There is a successfully set NBT entry at root, basically the entity's top level tag, for a test to string value. And I'm just going to open it again. And there we go. So you can set, you can not only set stuff with this, you can also override stuff, which is basically just defining it again and setting some other type or whatsoever there. Or you can also remove it. In case you want to remove it, just define as value null. If you're a developer and stuff, this might sound familiar for you. So, but just set it to null and it will remove it again. So just reload this and it's gone again. So What else? What else? Well, let's say we want to add a some tag compound. Just we call it compound, and the value is kind of redundant here because a tag compound does not hold any values. It contains, again, like the root tag, it contains again a multitude of values that are sorted again by the key to value system. So it doesn't actually care what kind of value you name it. Only if you add a new tag compound, the key is important, and of course the type has to be tag compound. The value itself is kind of ignored. So let's just reopen this. Yeah, as you can see, where would the value go here? So now we want to add something into this tag compound. With our current knowledge, that's kind of awkward because we can only interact with stuff on the top level here. So that's where the this complex-ish stuff comes into play. So basically, in the end, those two values define, like the type, colon, key, and value define what you want to set. And everything between name and those two last arguments will define the path to the value you want to set. So let's say we want to add something into this tag compound, and we want to add, again, a string tag, and we call it some key and some value as the string we want to set. If we would execute this now, we would just set something on the top level again. So to define a path into the tag compound, we just say, okay, the path is compound. That's the key we are looking for. And the value we expect there is a tag. So the parser of the command then first of all looks, okay, at what key can I find the path specification? And what kind of tag is there? Is it a tag list that contains several values? Or is it a tag that contains, again, a pair of key and values, a multitude of key values? So I guess this should be pretty clear. Just execute it and reopen it. So now you can see it basically looked into compound. It expected a tag there, and in the tag compound, it set some key as a string to some value. That's exactly what it did here. Again, you can also remove certain tags inside of other tags. So, and you can of course also remove the tag itself again. Okay, what else? If you would specify, like if you would execute this now, we kind of have an issue because the tag compound that we had beforehand is no longer in here. Well, the command, if it executes and encounters at some point a expected tag compound or tag list doesn't actually exist, it will create it. So in this case, we say we expect a tag compound at the top level of the entity tag, and in there we want to execute something else. It will just create the tag compound if it doesn't exist. So there we go, our tag compound is back again. And inside it, it's the same again. But now we did not create the tag compound explicitly. Beforehand, we just executed a command that does something within the tag compound. And you can execute this even deeper. Just say T2 for the next tag compound in compound, and then T3 for one in T2. And if we execute that, as you can already see, the command also returns you some sort of tree where it went through. So basically it went through compound.t2.t3 and then set the value there. So as you can see, it went through the tags, it created them as they were not existent yet, and set some value in there. And of course you can just remove it again the same way. As you might expect, you can also remove any other tags that basically define the mob by itself. You can just remove the ID tag here, and the mob will no longer have a mob type. Of course, that will result in the mob being no longer spawnable, which is awkward. So, well, you might not want to destroy your mob file with this. So what else is there? I guess that's pretty much it for the basics. So we're gonna have a look at something actually useful here. Let's say we want to, since this command can basically do anything with NBT, I'm gonna just show you how to add a villager trait to a villager, since that is what, well, is the most complex thing, I guess. So let's just say, okay, we create a new villager, test villager. Can also open that one up here. So as you can see, a lot of other stuff already in here. So then we need a offers tag. So pt setraw test villager t offers, and well, a tag by itself does not have a value. In this tag, first we want to create a tag list tl recipes. Didn't write it correctly. Well, a list itself does also hold no values. It contains a list that are values and not the value itself. So then into recipes we add some tag compound. In a list there are no keys. So, well, as you can already guess, it even says it in here like there is no actual key. It's only one value inside the whole recipes list. And again, a tag compound by itself does hold no value. It contains key value pairs, but doesn't have a value by itself. So just to open it up, so we have offers, the tag compound offers, and we have the list recipes and some tag in there. So now it also already told us, so could not reload entity tag for entity test villager, blah, blah, blah. The problem is, as you are modifying the entity's NBT tag like this, the plugin tries to reload the entity tag whenever you do changes to it. So as you change it, well, basically the plugin or Minecraft tries to reload the mob, and well, we have one trait option specified here, but the trait option holds no entries. So the plugin kind of runs into an issue where reloading the mob file is not possible because, well, the trait option basically has nothing in it. But Minecraft expects some kind of values because, well, a trait option has to have an item specification, what the villager wants to buy from you, and a sell specification, what the villager will give you for if you buy something from him. And well, if something here might be if something here is missing, well, the plugin or Minecraft will error out. The plugin prevents you from this, and but well, spawning the entity now would likely result into an error. So if you're messing with entity MVT tags like this, be sure to remove the entity from the world spawning or whatever in beforehand. already spawned entities are not affected by this. But if you were to spawn a test villager now, you would likely run into an error. So keep that in mind when you're messing with NBT tags. So okay, now we want to add something into the trade option. So we want to access the NBT tag at index 0. So going through the path specification, we were like, okay, there is a tag compound that offers, which obviously there is, a tag list at recipes. And well, as we are in a list of entries that are sorted by index, we can say we expect something at index 0, which is a tag compound, which is obviously given the already edited MVT tag, which is obviously, well, there. So we expect a tag at index 0, and we want to set a byte reward exp, basically this one here. And we want to set it to 1. Basically, we want to set it so, yeah, if you trade, you get the XP. As you can already see here, at offers.recipe.index in brackets 0 for test value to 1. And we go through here, basically offers, the list of recipes, our one trade option, and reward XP has been set to 1. So okay, we can do this now with max uses. So how often do we want to be able to use the trade? Well, we're kind of greedy. So let's just say 1 million. How often was it already used? Well, we did not use it at all yet. What the villager wants from us, let's say a dirt. What the villager will give us, a stack of nether stars, because that's not overpowered. So we want to have the dirt in our hand, because as we saw up here, if we specify item, it wants a item here. If we have item, well, it takes our item in hand as value, not what we write there. So we just say item, and it's set at buy, and well, the value is the item in our hand, so we just can write whatever we want here. It's important that we write anything here, but well, just write something. Just to confirm this, we can just open up the file again. And yeah, our max uses, reward XP uses, and well, dirt. Next up is the sell item. So as you can see now, as we executed the last command, the error message did not show up anymore. And if we have a look at our trade option, the trade option is basically complete. As it says here, may not exist, since this is the second cost item for the villager, so well, it might not always exist. So this one is complete, and as it did not error out anymore, we can just try and spawn our test villager. There we go. Oh, and wonder, it sells a stack of nether stars against 1 dirt. And well, as I already mentioned, you can set anything in here. You can also, in case you've set it, if you have defined some spawn limit or whatsoever, you can also modify that inside the CustomMobs tag. But well, this is also definable by, oh, the villager is just moving me around. This is also definable by command, so there is no use in having you define it through the npt command. But I guess that defines all of it, and well, thank you for your attention, I would say, and Thank you for using my plugin. So see ya guys.